Use a Gable box template to make your own print and cut Gable box. So today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to use a template from Creative Fabrica. You can also edit it in Canva as well. You can also edit it in Cricut Design Space to make your print and cut Gable box with any design that you want to use. So before we get into this video, be sure to like and subscribe. So here I am in Creative Fabrica. And in the search box, I've already typed in Gable box, as you can see over here on the left side. They have a lot of different options for Gable boxes, but I'm just going to open up this first one and see what it looks like, what all is included, etc. So this is a preview of the Gable box, and I'm just going to scroll down. You can see in the top right corner that it has 5 stars based on 2 reviews. Over 1,200 people have favorited this design, which is pretty cool. And it also tells you or shows you this is the template size that you'll be using. These are all the different formats that are included, which I do like because you have options. Today, I'm going to show you how to use the Canva link, and I'm also going to show you how to use the SVG file as well. Okay, so going down, you can see, what those 2 reviews were. So what I'm going to do is to go back up and click on download. Before I do that, I do want to shout out the creator of this template or this design. You can follow the designer if you want to. So I'm going to click on the download button, and I'm going to save it to the downloads folder on my computer and click save. From there, I'm going to go to my Finder. And this first design right here, that's that zip folder. I'm going to double click on it to open it or open up a new folder or unzip that folder. If you have a Windows computer, you need to right click and then click extract all to create a new folder or to unzip the other folder. So what I'll do here is to double click on that folder. You have a couple different things. First, you have the tutorial, basically some screenshots of how to put the box together. So that's the PDF document. You also have your Canva template link. As you can see over here, this is a preview, but basically you can copy that link, paste it into your browser window, and start using that template. You also have these other different types of design files I mentioned before that I'm going to show you how to use the SVG file as well. So first I'm going to start with the Canva link. So I'm going to double click on this Canva template file. I'm going to copy that text and go back over to my browser, enter that text, and hit enter on my keyboard. This is a preview that you will get to show you what the box looks like. I'll click on View Template at the bottom. You'll then get this pop-up that says your template is ready. Click on Open in Editor. From there, this is the design that you're going to be working with. So first thing I want to point out is that this design is 8.5 by 11 inches. As you can see here, it's giving me those dimensions in pixels, but again, based on the description from Creative Fabrica, this design is 8.5 by 11 inches, okay? So from here, all that you need to do is to basically just drag in whatever photo you want to use, and then you can add other elements on top. I do want to point out one thing, though, is that you can see these white little cut lines here. Those will end up cutting on your design as well, so please be mindful of that. Now, these are typically score lines so that you can fold over these pieces of your box a little bit more easily. But because there's no way to kind of like contour here on the screen, your Cricut machine will end up cutting these white lines. And you can see like they go across the top here, all the way over there. They go down here. So everywhere you're supposed to kind of fold the box, you see those cut lines, okay? Now, in order to basically add in your photo, your image, what you'll do is if you have a photo from your phone that you want to use or anything like that, you can go ahead and upload that over here. Yesterday, I played around with some different designs, like a Hello Kitty design. Let me kind of rotate this so you can see. Just drag it. You can see what that looks like. I don't like this file right here because it's not, it looks a little grainy. So please keep that in mind as well when you're uploading files. Here's another file that I uploaded. That one looks pretty cool too. I did not like the fact that the bottom part was white, so that's why I did not end up using that file. But again, you can use any file that you want to use, Mickey Mouse, Hello Kitty, Bluey, just the options are endless. I will say that once you have your background, if you wanted to add additional elements to it, you could do it here. I would just add them on a separate page because if you try to bring another image on top of this or another element, it's going to try to pull it into the background. I would just, add them to a different page and then download those files too. I hope that makes sense. So I'm gonna show you how to find a background that you want to use. I just went ahead and put in Bluey background in Google search, and then I clicked on images at the top. So from here, you can find whatever image you want to use, whatever image you want to download. So I'll just right click on this image, click copy image, go back over to my Gable box and just paste it in. And once I move it, you can see what that looks like. Now, again, this looks very basic, but let's say that I wanted to bring in like a picture of Bluey and add it on top. Honestly, you can do that in Cricut Design Space. Like I said, if you try to bring in Bluey right now and pull him in, they're gonna try to put him into this design to make it fill up the entire design. And that's why I recommend like bringing him in on a second page so that you can download it. Again, I recommend doing that part in Cricut Design Space, but you have options, okay? So this is basically how you could do this in Canva. You'll click on the share button. You'll click on the download button. I'm going to choose transparent background because I don't want that white space to be downloaded. I'll just click on file number 1 to make sure that's the only one or page that downloads, and then I'll click done. From there, I'll click download. And I'm just going to change the name, Bluey background, Gable box, and hit save. Okay. So now I'm going to go to Cricut Design Space. I'm going to upload that so you can see what it looks like. So I'll click the upload button, upload image, find that image, and then bring it in. Okay. So this is what it looks like. Again, please pay attention to those little white cut lines there as well. So I'll click continue in the bottom corner, and then I'll click apply and continue. And we did not need to remove a background or anything because I downloaded a transparent background. So on this screen, you want to click flat graphic and then click continue. If you want to change the name of your design, you can do that over here in the top left. In the bottom right, I will click upload. And this is your design. Now, whenever it comes into Cricut Design Space, it's going to be a little bit smaller than probably what you want it to be. So what I like to do is to add a shape, click on the square, and then I'm going to unlock the square in the top middle. And then I'm just going to change the dimensions to be the size of a standard sheet of paper, which is 8.5 by 11. But because I want this paper to be horizontal, I just made it 11 by 8.5. So I'll click on the square, right click and click send to back. And that way I can kind of drag my design to see how big I want it to be. So I'm just going to drag that bottom right corner. And please pay attention because with print and cut, your design can only be so large. So that's why I put the square on there too to kind of represent a sheet of paper. And I'm dragging my design. Okay, so now I have that red icon in the layers panel on the right side. I'm gonna click on that. It says that my image is too large. So that means I need to make my box just a little bit bigger until that red message goes away. Okay, the red message is gone now. So please pay attention again to these little cut lines that you see here. So these are the fold marks again, and you can see them really good because I have that black square or rectangle in the background. Your Cricut machine is going to cut those, okay? Because this is a picture file, there's no way to kind of contour out those cut lines. Let's say that you actually wanted to score those lines instead of cutting. I'm going to show you how to do that in Cricut Design Space instead of using the Canva option. So one more thing I want to point out, as I mentioned before, if you wanted to add some elements like add Bluey himself, some other characters from the Bluey show, you could do that. I recommend doing that here in Cricut Design Space. So I'm going to click on upload, going to click on view all just to see if I already have a Bluey image on my computer. And I do. So I'll click on this one. And it says it's been added to my canvas. So I'm going to take a look and see. Okay, so there's Bluey. He's very large. I'm gonna change his size just a little bit, probably make him a little bit smaller. And from here, that's when I would start kind of designing my box to be how I want it to be. So this box right here, or this, yeah, the box is going to cut by itself on a sheet of paper. Bluey and any other characters that you want, you can kind of figure out how you want them to, lay on top of the box, especially if you want to create that 3D effect and use some of that double-sided foam tape. You would add Bluey. For myself personally, I do like to, if I'm going for that 3D effect, I do like to make duplicates. So I'll make 2 more copies of Bluey and just kind of overlay them on top of each other. Okay, so on the right side, I'm going to select all of my Blueys and then just kind of go up top to the Align button and center them all. From there, I'm going to right click and then click Group. And the reason I do that is so that whenever I move Bluey, all 3 of them are being moved together. Okay, so that's one thing. Now let me show you how to download some other options. Let's say you wanted Bluey and his family or any other characters from the show. I'm going to show you how to download that. So let's go back over to Google Chrome or whatever browser you're using. I'm going to open up a new tab and just type in Bluey characters. Gonna click on this images button right here. Gonna scroll down and I want to find a design that has a white background or a transparent background. So let's say I just wanted to use this guy right here. I would right click, click Save Image As. I don't know his name, so I'm just gonna put Bluey Character 2 and click Save. Maybe his name is Bingo, I'm not 100% sure, but let's hop back over to Cricut Design Space. We're going to click on the upload button in the bottom left corner, click upload image, find that image on your computer, and then drag it into Cricut Design Space. This is a preview. Click continue in the bottom right corner. Here's another preview. We do not need to remove a background or anything like that because it already had a transparent background. I am going to slice off this bottom shadow, but I'll do that in just a second. So I'll click apply and continue, click flat graphic, and then click continue. If you want to change his name, you can do that here and then click upload. Okay. So let me close out that panel. I'm gonna change his size a little bit, make him a little bit smaller. And it looks like that shadow did not even come in. So that's perfect. So from here, again, you can see Bluey and his friend. From here, I'm gonna make some duplicates. So right click and click duplicate. Right click one more time and click duplicate again. And then I'm going to select all 3 of those characters on the layers panel. You know that all 3 of them are selected because they are highlighted in green. And then I'm going to go up to align and then click center. And then I'm going to right click and then click group. And again, I did that just so that whenever I move things around, those 3 duplicates can stay together. Okay, so I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Again, that's how you bring in that Canva template or use that Canva template, bring it into Cricut Design Space. What I'm going to do is to hide that Gable box, and I'm going to bring in the Gable box SVG file that the creator had provided to us. So I'm going to click on upload image. I'm going to go back to that Gable box file again. So remember, this is the file that we downloaded from Creative Fabrica. I'm going to click on Gable box template, and then I'm going to click on the SVG file and bring it in. From here, I'm going to click continue. You can still see those lines, and those are cut lines. I'm going to show you how to hide those lines and add some scored lines. So I'll click on the upload button, and I'm going to hide my square in the background. I don't need it right now. So again, you can see those cut lines. Those lines will be cut. What I want to do first is to go ahead and get rid of those lines. So I'm going to basically click on this pencil icon in the top left, click on contour. I'm going to click on hide all contours, but then I'm going to turn back on that little triangle. Also going to turn on this little oval shape as well. And I'll click the X button in the top right corner. So now all of those cut lines are gone. From there, I want to add my score line. So I'm going to click on shapes and then click on this first line here. And as you can see, this is a score line. I'm going to bring that line down and I'm going to make it taller or longer. So I'm going to change this to maybe 4 inches. And I think that's a great height. I'm gonna change the color of this to like a light purple so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so that's that first score line. And with this design, honestly, you can kind of tell where the score lines are supposed to go. I know that earlier I got rid of those score lines and you're like, okay, where did the lines go? But with Gable boxes, it's pretty easy to kind of tell where the lines are supposed to go. So I'll make a duplicate of this line and then just continue the process of adding those lines where those score lines should actually go. Click on duplicate again. Now for the horizontal line, I'm going to click on this pencil icon. Where it says rotate, I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees so that it's turned the opposite direction. Going to place it where I want it to go up here. And then I'm going to make it maybe 10.4 inches and see. Now that's way, oh, that's 104. Okay, 10.4. Let's see what that looks like. I don't even know where the line is now. Okay, it's way over here on the other side of the screen. So let me move it. I'll change the position to maybe 3 on the screen. Now let's go way back over there. Okay, so here we are again. So let me drag this to C, and I think that looks good. You don't want your score line to overhang the box by too much. I may end up changing that to maybe 10.2. These numbers are not working for me. 10.2. Okay. So you don't want your score lines to overhang the box too much because when it's time to attach the lines, Cricut Design Space may say that your design is too large, and that's because if those lines are overhanging by too much, it won't let you do it. Okay, so this is what our lines look like. What I'm gonna do is to hide the box, the Gable box. And let me go ahead and hide Bluey and his friend as well. So I'm going to select all of my lines. Please do not move them, but just select them all. And then what I'm going to do is to right click and then click attach. Okay. I'm also going to right click and click duplicate and just overlay these lines on top of the other ones. I like to do that because I like for my score lines to be a little bit deeper. And so I found that by adding, basically making duplicates of those lines, it just helps them to really, really make a good score line on my project. So I'm going to turn back on my Gable box. You can see what that looks like. From here, let's say that you want to still use the bluey background that I showed you before. I'm going to go back over to the Google. I'm going to go back over to Google. I'm going to right click on this design and click Save Image As. And then I'm just going to name it Bluey Backyard Background. And then I'm going to go back to Cricut Design Space. I'm going to click the Upload button, Upload Image, find that image that I just downloaded. So let me go to my downloads, bring that image in, and then click Continue. You're going to see a preview right here. You're going to click Apply and Continue, click Flat Graphic, and then click Continue. You can change the name over here if you want, or add any tags, add it to any collections, and then click Upload in the bottom right corner. Okay, so I'm going to close out of this panel, and then I'm going to zoom out a little bit. I'm going to right click on this design and click Send to Back. I'm actually going to click on my score lines as well, just to hide those. And from here, you can kind of move, the image to where you can get the parts of the design that you want to. Let me just turn back on my score line so that I can move all of this at the same time. Okay. So I'm going to turn off my score lines again, but let's say that you wanted more of the right side of this picture instead of that left side over there. You can kind of place it where you want to. And then what we're going to do is to right click on the box, send it to the back, and then just drag your mouse so that the box, the Gable box and the background are selected. You're going to go or right click and then click slice. Okay, so now I'm going to delete the background. This is our Gable box now, and let me put that back. So I'm going to click on the layers panel, the purple box that we had originally. Let me just bring it to the front so you can see it's still there. So that's the purple box we had originally. Going to hide that. We don't need it. You can delete it if you want to. Going to turn on my score line so you can see what those look like now. Going to select my box And I'm going to select those score lines. You can see that both of those layers are selected in the panel. Right click and then click attach. The reason you want to click attach is so that whenever your Cricut machine is basically scoring and then cutting the box, it knows exactly where to score those lines. So I have this message again that's saying that my design is too large. So let me just click on my design, make it a little bit smaller so that message can go away. I don't remember what the design size was earlier that we ended up settling on, so. Okay, so 8.95 by 6.81. Okay, from there, I'm gonna turn back on Bluey and his friend. Going to bring them to the top so that I can kind of just place them on the box where I want them to go. Okay, right click, bring to front. Okay, so now I can place them on top of the box where I want them to go. I'm gonna zoom in so you can see. So again, basically you could have done this in Canva as well, but the reason why I ended up doing it in Cricut Design Space is because in Canva, it had those the score lines that were actually cut lines, and I couldn't get rid of those. If you want to use those cut lines, you can do everything in, you can use that Canva template, but I wanted to actually use score lines so it would fold and not actually cut out those lines. So you can see too, I have my Bluey designs. From here, just gonna make sure I save this project. So I'm gonna save it, Bluey Gable boxes, click save. And I'm going to click the make button. And I'm actually using my Cricut Designs or Cricut Explorer Air 2. I do have a Cricut Maker 3, but I don't have a scoring wheel, so I'm going to use my Cricut Explorer Air 2. So this is the Gable box. That's how it's going to print. These are the copies of Bluey and his friend. So you only need 2 sheets to print. I am using some glossy cardstock as well. Let me go ahead and show you that glossy cardstock that I use. I'm just going to type in koala glossy cardstock, 61 pounds. So I'll click on this one right here. As you can see, I've purchased this cardstock 4 times already before. So this is the cardstock that I'm using for my design. Okay, so I'm gonna go back over to Cricut Design Space, click Send to Printer. It's showing you that with this, that triangle always goes on the top. So it should always be facing up whenever you put your cardstock on your mat. So I'll click Next. Gonna use my regular Epson Eco Tank printer. Turn off the bleed, turn on Use System Dialog, and then click Print. Going to minimize this screen. Okay, so on this pop-up screen, for my media and quality, media type, I'm gonna change the paper to photo glossy paper, and then the quality automatically change to best. And then I'll click print here. So I'm gonna go back over to Cricut Design Space. And I actually like to go ahead and print both sheets. So I'm going to click Send to Printer. Next, turn off the bleed, turn on Use System Dialog, and click Print. Gonna minimize that screen. Gonna go back to Media and Quality, Photo Glossy Paper, and Best, and then click Print. So my print queue popped up. So now you can see that both of those are waiting to be printed. You have the Gable box first, and then you have Bluey and his friend next. Gonna go back over to Cricut Design Space, click Done here. Gonna click on the first page because the first page is gonna cut or print first. That's the page I'm gonna cut first as well. Gonna choose medium cardstock and then click remember material settings so I don't have to choose the material again. So from here, I'm going to hop over, show you the designs being printed. Also going to show you me putting the designs onto my Cricut mat and loading them into my Cricut machine so that we can start basically taping together the box as well. Okay, so both pages have been printed. So this is the Gable box and this is Bluey and his friend. Please pay attention to these little triangles in the top left corner. That's how you're gonna lay your pages down on your mat, okay? So let me push this out of the way. I have my mat here, and I'm going to start with my Gable box. So put it down on the mat and just smooth it down. I'll use my scraper to make sure it's really down really good, okay? And then I'm going to put this into my Cricut Explore Air 2. Press the flash and go button, and then press the go button. Okay, so I have all of my cut pieces here. So you see Bluey, his friend, and then I have the two sides to put together my Gable box. So these are the two identical pieces. I'm only gonna put Bluey and his friend on the front side of the Gable boxes. I also have these double-sided foam squares. You can get these from Dollar Tree. You can also get them online at Amazon. And then for the box, to glue the box together, I'm gonna use some double-sided tape. You can also use like a glue or super glue, anything like that. But I'm gonna start with the with Bluey and his friend first. So I'll just take one and take some of these little dots, place them on him. And you don't need a whole bunch either, honestly. So I just put 2 on this one. So then I'll peel off the paper backing. Okay, then take another character and just overlay them on top of each other like that. Try to get them as even as possible, but you can see that we now have like that 3D effect going on. So I'll continue the process. So now I have the two sides of my Gable boxes. Going to fold them on the score lines. You can kind of see where those score lines are. Just gonna go ahead and fold them. So from here, I'm just gonna try to piece the box together for how it want it to go, just to get an idea. So lay one side facing up with the white space, and start with is by putting some tape on this piece right here, the inside piece. So I have my tape, double-sided tape. Again, you can use any type of adhesive that you want, whether that be double-sided tape or you could even use like a super glue or something like that. Your Barely Art glue, you can use that as well. So I put my tape down there. I'm going to use my weeder just to help me peel off that paper a little easier. Okay. From there, what I want to do is to go ahead and kind of lay this side by side, and then basically press that part down. Okay. So now our box is finally starting to come together. So I'll just move it over and then put the tape on this inside piece. So get my tape again. Okay, then I'm gonna fold my box so that this inside piece faces the other inside piece. Okay, so this is what our boxes are looking like right now. So it's a full box now, you see? Okay, so now it's time to work on the bottom. So I want these 2 flaps on the end to go inside of the box, and then the bottom to fold over like that, okay? So I think I'm gonna put some tape like on that inside flap, just going across the inside flaps. Yeah, okay. If you know of a better way to fold those bottom pieces, you could, you know, do that as well. Do not recommend putting anything super heavy in these boxes either. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut off my tape to go on those inside flaps. And if you need to use more than 1 strip of tape just to have some extra security, you can do that as well. I'm going to put the tape on this other flap too. Then I'm going to use my weeder to kind of help me peel off that paper backing a little bit easier from my double-sided tape. If you have that regular double-sided tape that comes on like the tape dispenser, you can use that as well too. This is just what I had on hand that I could quickly grab and decided to use. Be sure to check the description box down below as well for a list of supplies. So here, just going to make sure my box is even and it's not like curved or anything, or tilted, slanted. And then, so from here I like to kind of flip my box over, open it up, and then just make sure to press down on the inside to make sure that, you know, it's sturdy, okay? From there, you can also see that if you put these flaps, you know, pull these 2 flaps together, stick them through the triangle on the side. Same thing on this side. Boom, there's your box. You can also, if you wanted to, cut off additional characters, put them on the, you know, left and right sides of the boxes. I'm gonna go ahead and stick Bluey and his friend on the boxes as well. If you wanted to even add text, you know, add something here, or even add like a ribbon on top of the bow, there's lots that you can do. So let me just go ahead and cut off some of this tape. Put it on the back of them. I like to use the regular tape for this, just so that I know that it's like super secure to the box. And again, you can use super glue if you want to. I'm gonna put him on this side. Okay. Bluey. And you are finished. This is your finished box. Again, add whatever other elements you want to. Add ribbon at the top, add something here, add something on the left side, the right side, and yeah, you're gonna be done. So here's the first box that I made. It was a Mickey Mouse Cub House box. I didn't add any like 3D elements to this one, but use the same process to pull in an image from you know, the internet. And yeah, this is what your boxes look like. So now I'm gonna add some snacks, some goodies to these boxes just to see what that looks like, or show you what that looks like.